All right. Are we live or what? Hello, Luke. Welcome to the stream. Ryan, welcome, welcome, welcome. How's it going, everybody? Let's do a trailer. For those of you who haven't seen it, let's do a trailer. So I'm gonna give everyone a second to get in. I thought I'd make a trailer reaction video, but you know, if you're watching this, you're probably not at Star Wars Celebration. I thought it'd be fun if we could all kind of share the hype live together. So, how does that feel? And I've got a lot of little things that I want to show you guys. So, hit them likes. Guys, if you do want to donate, no pressure at all. But if you do want to, make sure you leave a message, so super chat, so I can respond. But let's watch the trailer once. Do you guys want to watch it first? And then I'll do an analysis because, guys, I spotted, I'm not joking, there is at least one Imperial Star Destroyer in here. Like an actual Imperial Star Destroyer, not a Resurgent. So, let's give it a watch. I thought Lando looked really good. The panel was great, yeah. But I'll shut up for a second. You guys hearing that sound?
We've passed on all we know.
The Emperor could be hurt. That's putting it lightly. It was a part of the Death Star, yeah.
But this is your fight.
So this is a callback to, or no, not this one, but the whole beginning of this trailer is sort of a callback to the Phantom Menace. One thing I noticed too is that Rey, when she pushes the button on her lightsaber, she pushes what used to be the length adjuster. Obviously now, yeah, right there on the. We'll go through it later. See, I feel like they're training here. I don't think that this is combat. Like she's running. I don't know. I feel like she's just trying to train. No idea what plane this is. I'm not even going to bother speculating. That's clearly a Knight of Ren. We'll talk about that in a second. New droid. Lando. Looking great. No, let's see the Imperial one now because this is going to get some of you guys hyped up. Okay. Okay, right there. You can clearly see right there. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. This is 100% an Imperial 1 Star Destroyer. This is the shield bulb right here. This is the communications tower. And then if you can also see some ships in the background here. Can't really tell their size. They might be starfighters, they could be cruisers. But this could be Jakku 100%. Just because they're fighting it, like it could be I never thought, but it could be a down ship. Hopefully not. But yeah, you can see this kind of the ridge here too. This ridge is very distinctive. Yeah, it's interesting because you can tell. So the fact that it's an ISD 1, not an ISD 2, after A New Hope, basically all of the Star Destroyers got this. Well, it seems like all of the Star Destroyers got this. The change to their. I can pull up a picture if you guys want. Imperial Star Destroyer bridge. Let me just pull the chat up so I can follow along. I mean, I'm sure most of you guys know what it looks like, but for those who don't, let me just pull up a picture of the bridge to show you guys. Imperial Star Destroyer 1 bridge. I should have had this ready. Here we go. So here's a good picture. This. I hate Pinterest. Okay, so look. You see this right here? That is. You can't quite tell it as clearly in this one, but that is that. This is this. And then the rest of the bridge tower, of course, is over there. So that has me really wondering what's going on. And then if you look here, I mean, this could just be, we see what looks like almost a Republic, like a Republic stripe down the side. So I'm wondering if this is like some sort of old Republic, not old Republic, but some sort of late Clone Wars. Oh yeah, and this is also clearly the, that almost looks like a, what is that? So yeah, more ships over here. Can't, like, it's far too, turn down the volume. Okay, well, they're far too distant to make any sort of real analysis of what they are. But yeah, it looks like right there too. I don't know why I'm pointing with my hands, but right here, if you pay attention, it looks like you can see some turbo laser firing. So yeah, old Imperial Star Destroyer. This to me is, yeah, this is the new A-Wing model. You can tell by the kind of elongated fuselage. But yeah, let's put this in slow motion because this scene goes by really quickly. Let's put it at 25%. You guys will see. Very much for the donation. Sorry, I can't read that name, but thank you very much for the 40. I don't know what that. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it. Yeah, it's clearly an Imperial Star Destroyer. It looks like turbo laser being fired from that side. It's not a Venator. It could be some sort of hybrid. That wouldn't really surprise me. But it's only here for a second. Rubles, yeah, that's what I thought. Clearly, anyway, we'll move on in a second, but this is the only kind of, oh yeah, look, you can also see, if you watch this part of the screen too, you can see turbo laser fire. I hear a lot of people saying Venator. I don't really see it. To me, the only thing that kind of makes it look like the Venator is the because this isn't, I don't think this is the door. Here, I'll pull up an image of the Imperial 1 Star Destroyer. The Imperial 1 Star Destroyer has a little panel like that across the front. So what I think you guys are seeing when you call it the Venator is actually just this thing right here. I think what you're seeing is this little kind of armor plating. I don't think it's a Venator. That's just my opinion. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. But yeah, I think it's clearly obvious in ISD. And so I kind of want to do a whole video talking about my theory with this. But let's get that full screen. But I think it's pretty likely that if this isn't a down ship, which based on the turbo laser fire in the background, I don't think it is. I think it's pretty likely that one faction has taken one of these ships, maybe a First Order splinter group. It could be, I was saying, it could be the New Republic. I think it's pretty likely that they're using it and they've kind of stole it and recovered it, which is why it's such an old model. It has what appears to be maybe even a Republic paint job on the side. Because, yeah, that's very clearly, I didn't see it quite. It's not just a trick of the light. That's definitely paint, and those are definitely ships in the background. But we'll come back to that. People are saying it's a notch in the side of the hull. It could be. But I think it's definitely, it's 100% an Imperial 1 Star Destroyer. Let's continue. Don't know what that is. Amazing shot here of Carrie. And then, okay, so this is really, really interesting to me. Ooh, that's the medal from episode 4? Okay, did not realize that. So, this, to me, is interesting. This that I just pulled up is from the art of The Force Awakens. Unfortunately, I have it in print. This is just a scanned copy. And this is really, really fascinating. So, one of the early ideas for The Force Awakens, and this was before even filming started, before real work on the movie started. This is the Death Star 2 underwater. Underwater Emperor Room. Rick, and I think that's Rick McCallum, or maybe one of the artists, Rick, I forget his last name, said, what if the Emperor's chamber had crash landed after the second Death Star explosion? That doesn't make any sense. I think it makes some sense. But that's when Rick knows he has something. He'll say exactly. Part of the journey to the story is they take the Falcon. It could be the Falcon, it could be something else. Go underwater and find the Emperor's tower. The Falcon is watertight. Okay, sure. So yeah, I find it really interesting that there have been kind of elements of And like, I don't think it's a coincidence too that this book, sure, it talks about the Death Star being underwater, but most importantly, not just the Death Star, Palpatine's throne room. And if you look at, I'm trying to find where the other concept art, there's more concept art in here. Oh, here we go. Here's one. So, when the adventure's over, Kira finds a hidden map inside the Emperor's Tower of the second Death Star. Okay, so this would have been basically, obviously, it'll be a different purpose. This was kind of like the early version of Lor San Tekka, basically. Some really creepy imagery of Luke that I always loved. I'm just gonna say, guys, if you haven't read this is a cool picture too. Yeah. Basically Darth Talon from, I did a whole video on that if you're interested. But if you haven't read the art book, 100% buy it, because not only is it beautiful, but it has kind of the secrets of what's going to happen and kind of the deeper mythology. Let's go back to the video. This scene, like, I always believed that Palpatine was going to come back. If you watch some of my earlier videos, I talked about it, but let's just listen to it again. We'll probably get Ewoks, that's right. Ooh, Outlanders, that's a good call. I'm going to talk about that in a second. I was really hoping we'd see what was on the other side of that hyperspace tunnel, but... We'll talk about that in a second, Jason. Max, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Like, look at the seas. Like, this is chaotic.
Really gone.
No one's ever really gone. I love how the music just gets so dark. I also like how the font coloring is just like it used to be on the 90s release, I think. The first special edition, or the pre-special edition release. Yeah. So, in the Thrawn trilogy, one thing that's really interesting is when Leia, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen, per se, or anything like that, but, and that's 100% Palpatine. So, I've seen a few people mention this in the chat. When Leia and, I think, Mara visit Endor, because that's a place where Palpatine died, there's just like an overwhelming dark side presence there. And that, so either Palpatine could be physically back, I'm not sure, but I think it was always, okay, so there's a few things to me that have made it clear, and I wish I'd put this video out like I was planning to on why Palpatine's obviously not gone. So, whether he's physically back or not is unclear, but obviously a being of that power, he doesn't just die by being thrown down a reactor shaft. Can they bring him back without it being stupid? I don't know. Personally, I think so. You can't just kill Palpatine. That being said, the new lore has kind of heavily said dark side spirits, you know, they can attach to things, but they don't really come back. So anyways, in the Thrawn trilogy, there's just like this power, and there's this power and this dark side energy, and it like physically affects Leia and Mara as they're over Endor, and that to me seems a lot like we're seeing here. But this part, like I was hoping that this would happen. I was worried they were gonna do something really safe, but this moment, like, I wish I had been at Celebration for this. I've never seen the metal that close up.
No one's ever really gone.
I am a little surprised, I will say, I'm a little surprised at how good of shape the Death Star 2 seems to be. I mean, this is just kind of the exterior hull, but crazy. Bill, we talked about that. It's almost certainly, I'll go back to that just for a second because I've seen it over and over again in the chat. Almost certainly not a Venator, and I would bet $1,000 that it's going to be an Imperial Star Destroyer, not a Venator. Where's that scene again? I know some people who've been here the whole time are kind of kind of tired of looking at this. But again, if you look at this, this is the best shot. Very, very clearly the communication tower of the Venator. The Venator has nothing like that. It's got those two towers with the things at the top. This is just one ISD bridge with the anyway. Let's go back to, I'm seeing people are like, you know, a lot of negativity, and that's fine. If you didn't like the trailer, Andrew, thank you for the donation. That's fine, but I mean, like, why do you gotta come in here and shit on people who are excited? Like, if you didn't enjoy the trailer, well, just let everyone else enjoy it. I didn't like The Last Jedi very much, but you know, I was still really pumped for this trailer, and to me, it delivered. But anyway,
We've passed.
Star Destroyer next to the Venator. Oh, there's another ship there. We'll look back at it again in a second.
On all we know.
Thank you. My name is Nick. I think there might be two ships. Oh, okay. Thank you, and Nikita. Why is the name Rise of the Skywalker? That's a good question. I think we'll talk about that in a second. I do like her outfit. It's kind of like the opposite of kind of Luke's wardrobe change in the original trilogy. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm like looking at the lightsaber, and I'm not seeing any. Is there any kind of like? I mean, it's split pretty evenly down the middle, so I don't see any major changes. Oh yeah, it's definitely Luke narrating too. Some people.
Generations live in you now.
And that's one thing I did want to kind of a note I wrote down after I watched it. Thank you, Nux, for the $5. Keep Sheev memes alive, 100%. One thing I noticed is he says "we" every time. The Star Destroyer timestamp is at 1:31. He says "we," meaning to me that there may be a bunch of Force Ghosts with him, or he could just be talking generally about the Jedi. But he says, "We've taught you everything we could." I still think this is probably some sort of training scene. But yeah, Kylo's clearly going to be redeemed. We'll talk about that in a second. We do see him tackle what I think is a Knight of Ren. I'll pull up the picture of the Knights of Ren in just a second when we get to that scene. This planet is... I really like the look of it. I can't tell if it's supposed to be Tatooine. It looks almost more Tatooine than Tatooine did in the... They said it's like walking into a Ralph McQuarrie painting. And I kind of hate how Ralph McQuarrie is basically always used as a symbol of good. Because... I mean, obviously, all of his work is good, but it's lazy to me. But this planet is just, you know, beauty and desolation, I guess. Oh, yeah. Here, I'll get something good for the Disney-ruined Star Wars crowd. Just give me a second here. She already activated her lightsaber? No, okay, so this button up here, unless I'm mistaken, I think that is the button. Let me just look up a Luke's lightsaber. None of this matters at all, and I don't think they should be beholden to whatever old cross-section book said back in the day. But this was always the blade adjuster. This is like the ring at the end. This is the blade adjuster, and then usually you would turn the lightsaber on down here. That being said, I don't see any reason why the blade adjuster did always kind of have like a little buttony aspect to it. So I don't see any reason why you couldn't turn it on like that. I'm thinking maybe even Luke does at 1.2. Black grip in the center. Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, this part right here is new. Thanks for pointing that out. I'll pull up a picture of the lightsaber. Just a second, guys. Pull up a picture of the old lightsabers just so you guys can look at the differences. This is this calls it the activation lever, and you can see it looks pretty similar. So what she presses is this thing, which does look like a button. It calls it a blade length adjust, but I see no reason why it couldn't be a button. And then, so this black area right here seems to be different. Maybe because of the damage she had to move the button up here, That would make sense to me, I think. Let's continue. It's just a little thing I noticed, not that it's a big deal. And she's got her old blaster, too. I never really, yeah, she flex taped it together for sure. Anyone notice the scenery changes for when she chased and when she jumps? Oh, I'll have to check that out. I gotta say, it's kind of fun doing this breakdown by committee. See, it looks to me like she's just trying to practice her, like she's just trying to get faster and get stronger. Fermi Paradox, I like your name and thank you very much for the donation. Here's hoping Palpatine has more than 5 minutes of screen time. Here is hoping. Although Vader has what, like 5 minutes of screen time in A New Hope, and he's still... Can we see who's piloting that? Not really. I mean, it's obviously... Is it dual phase like Corran Horn's lightsaber? Probably not. I mean, all lightsabers have... Or most lightsabers have slightly adjustable lengths. Corran's was dual phase because it could shut off like... Oh yeah, it does look a little different, doesn't it? It looks a bit more... I mean, that just... Oh, no, that's totally different spot. I mean, it could just be that it's further down in this little track that she's running. But, yeah, I think it's probably pretty likely that she just has to move the button because it was, cut in half. That does kind of look like a different place. I didn't notice that, but... Is the sky different? That would be the probably best indication. No, the sky looks pretty similar, I want to say. Maybe not. This could be like two different points of training. But yeah, this place has grass so it could be this kind of... Yeah, this is some sort of TIE silencer. This to me seems like maybe this is like kind of the way that they practice throughout the movie. Like, again, this is speculation. Usually I don't, wildly speculate, but maybe this is like something that they do. It's kind of like the leap of faith in the Matrix, where like you keep doing it, and then once you can actually physically accomplish it, it's like you've kind of had some sort of metaphorical breakthrough, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense to you guys? But yeah, this to me definitely looks like a different planet. I did not notice that at all. Oh yeah, this looks like the TIE silencer. Was the TIE silencer that red though? Isn't the TIE silencer? Oh no, the TIE silencer had that different cockpit. Because the TIE silencer is the square cockpit. This must be some sort of Knights of Ren vehicle, maybe. I can't remember because I think we've seen this before. This could be misleading, but to me, I think it's pretty clear that this isn't any sort of conflict. This is training. At least I think so. This kind of does look like the First Order TIE variant. Also, the silencer has kind of the different back panels as well. This could be like the First Order TIE, like from Resistance. So I was trying to guess at all, like, I was trying to get a good shot of the ship, and not a whole lot there. The trailer's just not in high enough fidelity. It looks like a speeder. I don't know if it's a spacecraft. It looks a lot like a speeder. This city's interesting. It's like built into the mountains. I like it. Okay, so this part is interesting. This is it could be an A-Wing, but I don't think it is. We'll look at it again. It didn't look like an A-Wing to me, because the A-Wing has like, for one, I don't think the engine looked like that, and the A-Wing has like, it's got like, it looks like an A-Wing, I think, because it's got the two engines and it's moving so fast. It has a sort of A-Wing flair behind it, but the A-Wing has little struts behind the engines, which this doesn't have. I think this is just a speeder. It's also not really in the shape of an A-Wing, and the back doesn't look like an A-Wing. It doesn't have fins either. Yeah, so the A-Wing has fins, and it's got little. It's hard to explain what they are. I don't know the technical language for them, but just little things behind them. It's definitely not an A-Wing. I think it looks to me like one of the speeders from Canto Bight. But let's continue. So this part is interesting. Kylo no mask on, and to me, this is obviously one of the Knights of Ren. I'm trying to figure out At first, I was like, okay, it's nice. He doesn't kill the guy. He just knocks him on the ground. But then, obviously, he's got his crossguard lightsaber. So really, he's stabbing him. I think he does that to a Praetorian guard as well. Is that something in the background right there? Is that just a weird video artifact? Okay, that's just smoke. Firing at red blasters. So yeah, let's pull up the Knights of Ren and see if we can match this guy. I think there's one that looks just like him. And one thing that I noticed too is he's got like a club, and when you look at the Knights of Ren part, the Knights of Ren have weird weapons like that. One of them has a giant like anime sword. One of them has a club. Let's pull up an image real quick. I need an assistant. Okay. Let's see if we can find that picture from... So I think there's some concept art I think that will help. Just give me a second. So I don't know. To me, he doesn't actually look like any of the Knights of Ren we see on screen, I don't think. But, oops, I lost that picture. Sorry, guys. I'll bring that on screen in just a second. But to me, he matches the aesthetic. But now that some of you guys say maybe it's a planet rebelling against the First Order, to me that also makes a lot of sense. Because he does look, the weapon itself looks kind of primitive. To me though, I don't know. To me, I think it's one of the kind of theories that have been going around has been that the Knights of Ren come back from Dathomir. That would be cool. Kylo stabbed that guy in Rey's Force vision. He does kind of have a similar looking hat, doesn't he? Could this be a flashback? Oh, that's an interesting thought. Let me see I'll have a better idea when I can see the First Order Stormtrooper helmet, because they change between Episode 8 and Episode 7, but I don't... Let's see. Episode 8... And you know what, though? This does kind of look like the... So that does look like an Episode 8 Stormtrooper. And I don't know why Kylo would be not wearing his mask before Episode 8. Like, he always seemed to wear the mask. But I think it's an interesting theory that maybe this is a flashback, and he's kind of slaughtering those people. A lot of people are saying Dathomir. The fog is right. I mean, fog is fog, right? I mean, it's an interesting theory, though. He's not fighting night witches, though, I don't think. So it seems to me like two options. Either, well, there's three, I guess. The boring option, they're fighting against Resistance, and that's a Resistance trooper. The most likely option, I think, is that there's some sort of splinter among the First Order. That's 100% the guy from Rey's vision. Okay, let's see this. I'm going to pull that up real quick. Rey's vision. Let's do it. Let's see. Did I miss it? I forget how this goes. Huh. That does look really similar. Look at the weapon. Huh. You know what? That does look really similar. Let's just back it up a couple. They definitely have what looks to... Oops. They definitely have what looks to be the same helmet, and what looks also to be the same weapon. Yeah. That's definitely the same helmet. Or, I mean, not definitely the same helmet. It's definitely the same looking helmet. What do you guys think? You know what? That's actually a bit more rounded. Okay. Definitely not the same helmet. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure either way now. There was a poster. I don't want to get too much into leaks because I know I will see if I can find this leaked poster. I won't show it, but I'll just see if it looks like any of the First Order guys on there. Not really. No, not really. I don't know. What do you guys think? Could be an Inquisitor. Could be. I think there's probably some sort of either First Order operation, some sort of action against. Oops, why did I minimize that? Some sort of action against the Resistance. Oh, does Kylo have a scar? That would be telling. I don't know. I love his facial expressions, though. Adam Driver's so damn good. Thank you very much for the $2 donation. Altered helmet being... Let's see. We're going to do this a few times because I'm just going to do like a rolling review just so you guys can each... Okay, so this scene is interesting. When I first watched this, I just assumed that it was Kylo, but it's obviously not. It's some sort of... The question is, who in the First Order... Like, what sort of alien in the First... would be in the First Order? We haven't seen aliens in the First Order. Like, look at these hands. Knight of Ren, maybe? But this lines up with a lot of leaks, and I don't want to go too far into leaks. Maybe I'll do that in another video. But one thing that's been talked about a lot is the Knights of Ren returning from some place called the Beyond, and Kylo either sides with them against the First... That's the leaked part. And then Kylo sides with the First Order against them, or vice versa. So some people are saying slave, and I think... I'm not positive, but I think that those are just kind of... It does look like he might have shackles, or she might have shackles around their wrist. But I think that it's probably... just some sort of draping sleeve. What's that in the background? All right, let's continue. Jacob, thank you. Could he be the movie's Ewok analog? Rebellious native savages? Could be. I mean, the Ewok analog in this movie might literally be Ewoks. We don't know, but we do see what should be Endor. So... Finn looking good. Looks like he's got Rey's staff, maybe. I didn't notice that. Or it could just be a walking stick. I don't know if it's the right color or not. Poe as well. So one thing JJ talked about was that this is going to be some sort of big adventure between, the whole crew. It's going to start off with everyone together. So does Rey leave at some point? And then we get some adventure between Finn and Poe. We know that the first planet they're on is like some sort of jungle planet. I doubt it's Endor because, are they going to find the Death Star right at the very beginning? But I think you can also see Rey, Finn, and Poe later on. So here's the new droid. I already forget his name. I'm not sure how I feel about it. He's pretty... I don't know if he's cute or not, but... He's a Star Wars droid. He's crazy functional. He's like BB-8 almost taken... I don't know if taken to another level, but he's got a lot of moving bits. Okay, so Lando in what we assume is the Falcon. I'm not going to lie, the way he's hunched over here, I thought it was Carrie Fisher at first. Like in her outfit from Crate. But I love this scene. Billy D just looks absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Andrew, for the $2 donation. Yeah, Billy looks absolutely fantastic. His hair, and one thing I noticed too, he was in Rebels, and he was at Star Wars Celebration, not last year, but the last Celebration 2017. he can still act really, really well. With Carrie Fisher, she did seem a little out of practice in episode 7. Just she was so changed kind of by age, which 100%, understandable. But Lando, he is still Lando. He's not he's more Lando than Han was Han in my opinion. And just I just love with the music how much fun he's having flying the Falcon again. For some reason, I don't know why, but the hyperspace, I don't think Lando's fat at all. I think he's just aged. The hyperspace here is almost like the new canon has treated hyperspace as violent. Look at the thing shaking and stuff. Almost like he's pushing it. I really wish we could see even a hint of what's on the other side here, but I checked and nope. White transition or dip transition. So one thing I mentioned earlier, and I didn't even pick up on this when I was watching the trailer, Izzy Nobre, who's another YouTuber, not a Star Wars YouTuber, but one of my buddies, he's like, this is a direct connection to the Phantom Menace trailer with every saga has a beginning, which I thought was really cool. Let's continue. So one thing we've heard is that first order jetpack troopers there. Trying to get a better look at their armor. It looks very first order like. I saw what you guys said looked like a second helmet. I think it was just a thing. I'm not convinced it was a second helmet, but it might be. So some people have mentioned that there's a point where, in the kind of leaked poster points to this, that what are they being shot at by? Also, let's give this scene a bit more attention. Okay, speeders and some sort of speeder bike. I'd like to get a better look at that. Yeah, some sort of speeder bike, and I kind of have a theory that there might actually be... Okay, so here's the Star Destroyer shot. We'll cover this again briefly for everyone who missed it earlier. There's ships in the background here. Can't tell what class. Can't tell if they're starfighters. Can't tell if they're cruisers or what. But, again... And let's just watch the scene at fast speed. Watch how quickly it's over. Just like that. Just for kind of indication of how closely we're analyzing this. Boom. It's done. But, and I know this is repetitious for some of you. Of course, there's an A-Wing and ships in the background. But, Imperial 1 Star Destroyer. 100%, I would bet my YouTube channel on it. Well, maybe not. I bet money, I bet $1,000 that this is an Imperial 1 Star Destroyer. It's clearly the communications tower. Clearly the shield bulb. Not Victory. Doesn't look like a Victory. Doesn't look like a Venator. It's 100% an Imperial 1 Star Destroyer. Like this, I'll pull the thing up again. I know we've been through this a couple times, some of you. But this just gets me so excited, and I don't know why. Hold on just 1 second, guys. Let me just pull this up again. Here's the picture from Rogue One. Can I show both of these, I wonder, on my little tiny screen? Okay. This is this. This part up here is this flat bit. These ridges right here. I think there's actually a better shot where you can see it. Oops. Sorry, guys. Uh-oh. Froze my YouTube. And again, I know this is... I know me saying it's repetitious is also repetitious, but I've seen a lot of discussion among ship nerds. No, it's not Imp 2, it's an Imp 1. It's 100% an Imp 1. Let's go back. Which shot's the best? Oh, this one, maybe? But you can see, like, the squiggle of the line. Let's pull that image back up. Okay, so this is this. This is this. Because the Imperial 1 Star Destroyer is always distinctive because it's got this raised, strange tower. And for those who don't know, basically the difference between the Imperial 1 Star Destroyer and the Imperial 2, besides for the lore difference, which doesn't really matter at this point, like weaponry and stuff, the main difference is that some, at least pre-Endor, Imperial Star Destroyers, so in A New Hope, in Solo, and in Rogue One, and similarly in Legends, all Imperial ones have this tower. Then later, at some point, they're retrofitted. So like the Devastator, Vader's ship in A New Hope, the one that he chases the Tantive in, reappears in the other two movies, and has this different bridge. I'll show you guys most of you guys probably know, but I'll just pull this image up real quickly. So, in A New Hope, the Star Destroyers look like this. Later, they look like this. And the thing is, even old Imperial 1 Star Destroyers, Rice, thank you for the five Australian dollar donation, and Planet Express as well. Even Imperial 1 Star Destroyers get that update. The hull isn't a Venator. I know what people are referring to. They're talking about it's got a red line, which does indicate that it may be a Republic ship, but this isn't this isn't the two doors. I think people are assuming that these are the doors that pull back, but it's not. If you look, the doors don't go nearly far enough on the ship. On the Venator, those two doors go down nearly to the end. But on the Imperial 1 Star Destroyer, I keep opening new tabs. My computer's going to just die. The Imperial 1 Star Destroyer, you've got this short armor-plated section. That is this. Like, if we go back a few frames, you'll see the main superstructure. See? The main kind of steps of the superstructure. Does that make sense? You guys feeling me? Thank you for the dollar donation. So yeah, that's 100% an ISD. 100%. Let's continue. Anything you guys want to... If you guys have any questions too, or anything you guys want to talk about, this is kind of fun to do this by committee almost. But yeah, let's move on. So some people are saying that this is the medal. I didn't pick up on this. This is the medal I guess they get in A New Hope. It could be a Jakku flashback. I think it's probably a new battle. One thing that JJ talked about at the conference, or at the panel, was that this is all existing footage from Episode 7. Perhaps also, perhaps I guess Episode 8 too, but he made it seem like it was mostly from Episode 7. So I have no idea how they did this. This, to me, is like pure movie magic. Crazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie. This with the music. After we go through this walkthrough, I wanna just do a full watch, not slowed down. So yeah, this is people. What this doesn't look like Endor, but I mean it's very, very possible that Endor has multiple biomes. And this looks like the Death Star 2 to me, just based on kind of the hull isn't fully completed. But yeah, the hug is beautiful. I really like just it's desolation of this all. Like this, to me, this is like the Death Star is not only a super weapon, but it's like a literal dark side. Like this is like not only a super weapon crashing, this is like this thing of the dark side on this planet, which is like corrupting everything around it. They've got this very windswept terrain, very barren, almost like beautiful in a way how barren it is. Like Mordor or something. Like this pure evil thing is like affecting the surrounding area so much. One of the things mentioned in canon is the Ewok apocalypse, but that's never an in-canon event. But yeah. Rakeen, thank you very much. Legends era lightsaber that was destroyed by the Yuzan Vong, the one Luke gave Mara. Well, Luke gives Mara his Leia's lightsaber that Luke or Mara gives Leia. I don't really remember much about that lightsaber. I thought you meant, yeah, because Mara uses Luke's. I can't really remember what Leia's lightsaber is like. I think it's just the old one kind of.
Really gone.
I think the water's evil. Yeah, basically, that's my point. Actually, Endor's the name for the. We got 1977 viewers. Let's appreciate that. We already did take a closer look at the lightsaber. It is the episode 4 lightsaber, but it's got a new piece on it. What was in her hand? Good question. What was in her hand? I didn't even see. I thought it was her. I figured it was her staff. Oh no, that is something. Survival pack, maybe. Oh, the red blade. Right. Yeah, Leia's first lightsaber is a red one, isn't it? Back when, because for a while in Legends, it wasn't only bad guys who used red blades. I think Jaina used a red one for a while too. Yeah, it's just a backpack, I think. Let's give the trailer a watch through, because I think the music in this trailer is like A++. Not as good as the second one for it could be the books. That's a good point. Not as good as the second trailer for The Force Awakens, but this is, I think, my second favorite scored trailer of the new one so far. I know Jaina usually used a purple one, but I thought she had a red one too that she used sometimes. Alright, let's just watch it through once. Oxygen tank, that's true. We did see in the concept art that, So yeah, I'll just point through everything we've talked about so far, just to catch those up who are just joining. Us, key, the lightsaber, it's the same, but it's got some flex tape on it. We think this is training, and one thing you guys will notice, this is 2 different planets, or 2 different places on the same planet. I think Endor has a bunch of planets. Yeah, to me, this doesn't look like combat. This looks like not only tests, but repeated tests. Because if you pay attention when she actually jumps, the biome, the planet is different. This looks like a salt flat almost. Looks like Kylo's hands, but I mean they're gloves. Endor's the moon and the planet. See, look at the ground here. Look here. Completely different. So to me, seems like repeated training. She finally got it. That's the first time she gets it. Alien hands. Violent hyperspace. Well, it's the Endor planet, the Endor system, and the Endor moon, so it's... yeah.
We'll always be with you. No one's ever really gone.
Crazy. Yeah, usually I don't upload my live streams. We're just gonna put this one. Planet Express, thank you very much for the, what's that, Australian dollars? Thank you for the 50 Australian dollar donation. Is there no R2 in this? Is that true? I guess that's right. Or is he with the gang there? Oh no, where is R2?
Always be with
Presumably he's on the Falcon, I guess. That's where he last was. But I mean, I guess that's where everyone last was. Huh. Where do you guys think R2 is? Let's give this another watch. So I'm just enjoying just talking about this. So this whole trailer has a dreamlike quality to it, 100%. And as I said, guys, if you haven't read The Art of the Force Awakens, now is the time, because you see one of the original ideas. I'll pull it up again real quick. One of the original ideas for The Force Awakens. And like this is why this blew my mind when it happened in the trailer. What's that? Look at this. Emperor's Chamber. And then in this we see them visiting presumably the Death Star 2 and Palpatine's laugh. This is where Palpatine was last spotted. This is their original idea. So are they going to confront him here? Are they going to, like, I don't know. One thing that I've always wondered is, okay, so we know that a lot of the big picture stuff for the trilogy, some of it was planned out from the beginning, some of it wasn't. Some of it followed I want to show you guys the picture of Uber. Some of it was planned out, some of it was made up on the fly, I guess. Okay. So, the original idea for the trilogy from George and co. had 3 villains. And these are just basically code words. So there's this guy, villain guy. There's Talon, who, and yeah, her design is based off Talon from Legends, from the Legacy era. And she was kind of like a seductress, right? Some sort of seductress. And we see literally later on, there's a picture in here of, oh, this guy's always pretty cool. There's a picture in here of Talon literally seducing a Jedi, then killing him. I don't know. Pick up the book yourself. But and then, so to me, people assume that this Uber is what turned into Snoke. This guy's name, and Uber doesn't mean anything deep. It's just Uber baddie, basically. To me, this was Palpatine. This was Snoke seducing Jedi to the dark side. But being manipulated literally from the shadows in this picture by someone all along. If it turns out that Palpatine does return in episode 9, which I've predicted for quite a while, then I think probably that it was planned from the very beginning. Which would explain why Snoke is just thrown away, because, we don't need him. So the reason why I want to believe that's true is because of, there's a lot of hints in the expanded universe that Palpatine may still be alive. The biggest hint, I think, was in Aftermath. It talks about Palpatine throwing away the Empire and restarting it anew upon his death. But I'll just play this in the background while I'm talking. But we know the kind of person Palpatine is. He's 100% self-serving. Why would Palpatine care about what happens to his Empire after he's dead? Why would he care if the Empire is reborn? Like, why would he want to set up an Empire, cleanse it, and build it anew? Now, some of that, the whole building it anew stuff, wasn't necessarily his idea, but we do know that he would have played at least some part in the plans to, some of that was Gallius Rax, but some of it presumably was Palpatine as well. The contingency, exactly. I don't think that just destroying the Empire was his plan. I think his plan was probably, and I wish I'd made this video like I was planning to, he was a selfish man who wanted to live forever. I think his plan was probably basically, okay, the Empire failed me, let's restart it, let me come back, and let's try again. Because he's a selfish guy. I don't think he'd give a shit what happens after he dies, because I don't think Palpatine ever planned to die. And, the bit about... Obviously, the bit about the Plagueis in Episode 3 is part of that seducing Luke to the dark, or seducing Anakin to the dark side. But I think, this saga has meant to, or this movie is meant to tie together all the loose ends, not just from Episode 7 and 8, but from, or the original trilogy, but from everything. Does Palpatine come back in a new clone body? I don't know. It might be more likely that it's just his malevolent spirit here guiding things like Snoke. We don't know. Really don't know. A lot of that, Palpatine was highly interested in the unknown regions. I don't think Rey is a Palpatine clone. I don't think they're going to do anything with clones just because of how people reacted to that. There's not going to be Luke 2Us or Jorah Sabayoth, I don't think, with 2Us. I think they'll go with something a little bit different. let's talk about the name though. Rise of the Skywalkers. I've been putting off talking about that. I'm kind of curious. What do you guys think? I want to get some of your guys' reactions. And don't worry, this video is going to be live. We're going to keep talking for a bit longer. But yeah, I think it's been pretty clear that Kylo is going to be redeemed. 100%. To me, there wasn't any sort of ambiguity, even from the second that a Skywalker turned evil. And just like I don't think there's no chance whatsoever that Rey is a Skywalker. I think that Kylo was telling the truth in Episode 8. And just like the romance that the two of them share, it would be so weird. That scene in the hut where they're touching hands and she literally starts crying. And it's like, I said this a bunch of times. Luke busts in the door, literally like a dad catching his daughter with like a boy in the room. Like, if they made that brother and sister at this point, or even cousins, it would be too weird. It would just be too strange. I think she's probably just some sort of thing on her own. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how Palpatine and Snoke if Palpatine is still around, how they interact. I wish, so Wayward Jedi, who was a big member in the Star Wars community, recently kind of wiped his channel. He had been saying basically since the beginning that Palpatine would probably be back. And the way that he kind of phrased it made a lot of sense to me. And he talks too about the whole resurrection thing with the Rey and Kylo. And yeah, I think that whether that's metaphorically true or literally true, I don't know. The music is just really good. I do think he was fighting a Knight of Ren. Yeah.
We'll always be with you.
Like, look at those waves. Like, this is like a power. Like, I know I'm focusing on weird stuff here, but JJ is like a master of setting the mood with stuff like this. Just like look at like. Again, I'm probably digging too deep into it, but it just feels like, anger and like just, at least bad emotions. Adat Chat said that it's like very dreamlike, and I agree.
No one's ever really gone.
Like look at the rocks and everything. Like this, I like this. I like the kind of imagery here way more than Acto, actually. Although Acto in Episode 7 did have a dreamlike quality to it as well.
Really
gone. It could be scuba gear. In one of those pictures, I'm too far back now. Oh, but like a cool gunslinger Han. That's cool. I like that. Where is it? Also, these walkers look a lot like the one that made it into the background of Episode 7. The ones that you can kind of see on the back of Starkiller Base. Where is it? Could it be diving gear? Where's that picture again? Did I go too far? Did I pass it? No, it's up here. Could it be diving gear and like flippers? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Well, Phasma will be back. You see, I feel like I'm in the vast minority here, but I do not think that Phasma died in Episode 8. Anytime someone dies and you don't see their face, to me, it's like, I don't know. You don't see their face and you don't see them physically die. She fell down into a hole. But I think it was, if she is dead, which is also probably, okay, here's what I think happened. I think Rian Johnson purposefully shot it to, yeah, I didn't mean see her face. I meant see her actually physically die. I think Ryan shot it in a way to allow JJ to resurrect her if he wants. But I think JJ will probably in the end decide that the movie's too busy already and just let her go. All right. Yeah, Maul fell down a hole. It is kind of curious. Yeah, Luke says no one's ever really gone. Is he talking about metaphorically ever really gone, or is he talking literally? Sheev is it Sheev's influence that's here, the Emperor's influence that's here, or is it literally the Emperor?
1,000 generations live in you now.
Curious whether George ever intended Palpatine to come back, because it's the same thing. Like some of you pointed out, Palpatine has the most ambiguous death of all time until the Death Star explodes. But now we see, well, part of the Death Star didn't explode. I think we'll probably see Hayden again too. I think they're gonna try to pack as much. I don't know if I want to say fan service just because of the extreme negative connotation with that word, but I think they're gonna try to put in as many callbacks and kind of connecting threads. Wait, it releases? I don't think they've had a release date, have they?
We'll always be with you. No one's ever really gone.
Anything you guys want to talk about? I know some of you probably have. Oh, let's watch some reaction videos. Not reaction videos, like live. See if there's any online yet. Episode 9 trailer celebration reaction. Oops, can't spell. Trailer. Star Wars Theory, sure.
We've passed on all.
Oh, too far. That was pretty boring. But yeah, let's see if he shows Ian. Yeah, Ian. So for those who didn't watch, Celebration Live, Ian McDiarmid actually showed, like the guy who plays Palpatine actually showed up on screen after the trailer and said, "Play it again" or something. Which, crazy. This is what I wanted. Well, look at the whole crowd. They're just one person. This makes me wish I had gone.
We've passed on all we know.
All we know.
1,000 generations live
It's a
in you now.
pretty scene. I didn't really appreciate before. Any chance that? Good question, Peyton. I'll answer that in a second. Thanks for the super chat. Kind of weird control mechanism for a fighter. They said Phasma is dead? Really? No, they didn't. They left it ambiguous. I watched the panel. Has there been anything on Fallen Order coming out? We could move discussion to that if the Fallen Order trailers came out. I don't remember when the panel was, to be honest. Panels tomorrow. Okay.
No one's ever really gone.
So, Rise of the Skywalker. I heard a couple of people think that it could be reference to some new Jedi Order, but I don't think so. I think it's just the Chosen One finally, or the Chosen family, I guess, finally fulfilling their balancing role in the galaxy.
What is happening? Wait, what?
That's so good. I wish that they had kept Palpatine's secret, or no, not Palpatine's secret. Him being at Celebration secret. I feel like that would have hyped up the crowd even more because everyone knew he was going to be there. It was like on the Star Wars site. I don't know, like I see a lot of people in the chat being negative, but like if you're not interested in the movie, and if you think it's stupid, I don't understand like why you gotta try to ruin it for others. Like even if you want to tweet about it, I get it, or like post about it or make your own video about it, totally get it. But like this is a pretty positive chat here, and I don't know, I'm pretty freaking hyped about the trailer. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. Anyway, I'm not trying to be an ass or anything. It's just like, to me, it's been like 2 years of just sorry, I just got an email. To me, it's been 2 years of just negativity and like just conflict, and I don't know, I felt good after this trailer because I saw even people who like generally were super against Episode 8 kind of being like, okay, that looks cool. I'm not asking for blind, brand loyalty or anything because that's stupid in the end. But I don't know. Let's just try not to shit on each other for either being pumped or not being pumped. You feel me? Is there anything else out today, or? Yeah, I don't think, is Rose even does she even feature in the trailer at all? I don't see her. I was trying to figure out, like, pick up context clues from the conversations in the panel about Rose, and because I wasn't a fan of her character either. Whether her and Finn would be like together, and it seemed like no. Vader Immortal. Oh yeah, that does seem cool. Find out where his chamber was in the Death Star too. I can show you guys a picture. That's a good call. Well, there's only been Legends. Well, let's see, because I know there's a zoom in the movie. That's a good idea. Let's take a look at that. So, in the movie, we get this shot, kind of ambiguous, but there was it was Incredible Locations cross section. And I believe, I think it shows where it is on the ship too. I think it's at the very top, right? Yeah, very top of the tower. So it would be, let's see how it's positioned. Destroyed. It wouldn't be here. It might be underwater. It might be in this part over here. And again, but that's only according to it's some old reference book. They could, like, that may not be, I don't want to call it canon, but that may no longer be where it is anymore. So it could be underwater. It could be destroyed. It could be like whatever. Hey Murph, what do you think? Murphy, what do you think the trailer? Here, Murph, come here. Come here, buddy. What do you think of the trailer? Do you think that's Endor? Yavin? Another planet? So one thing that would kind of, I think, like the new canon does have, so it doesn't have force spirits like ghosts, but it does have, Sith kind of like haunting objects. But like, why would, like, if Palpatine's haunting the Death Star too? Yeah, Zion, we've shown that a couple times through the stream. If Palpatine's haunting the Death Star too, like, just blow the goddamn planet up. Yeah, Moment, exactly. Just like Moment with it's his mask, right? I think he haunts. This is the legit planet. Well, the legit planet's a gas giant, I think, right? Or is it? I can't remember, actually. That's a good call. You're right, because Endor... Right, you can see it in the... Here we go. So, there's the Endor planet, the Endor system, probably the Endor sector, I don't know. And then... there's the Endor moon. This is the moon, like where the Ewoks are. I forgot that Endor wasn't a gas giant. It's just a planet. Could this be where the Death Star? I mean, presumably the planet itself is more. Not presumably, but the planet would be more massive than the moon. So I mean, from a gravitational perspective, it makes sense, right? Well, yeah, it is called the Sanctuary Moon, and that's from like see, it's it's the forest moon of Endor, the planet of Endor, and probably the Endor system. It's super confusing. I don't know. Is this Endor planet? Let's see. Endor system. Binary star system. Gas giant Endor? So this is saying that Endor was a gas giant. But I don't know. 9 moons. The forest moon of Endor is the largest. Huh. I'm not convinced either way. We'll see. But oh yeah, Had Abaddon, basically the original version of Coruscant. Could it be Naboo? I don't think so. How would the Death Star get to Naboo? I guess it must be the Endor moon, or it could be another moon of Endor. Is there anything about the Endor system here? Not really. Legends. It was pretty close, so I don't see how it could have been pulled anywhere else. I mean, I guess the destruction could have just tossed it across the galaxy, or across the space, but... Yeah, it's really close. The Glove of Darth Vader, yeah, true. What topic are we on? Oh, we've covered a lot so far. We're basically covering whether there's any other place in the Endor system that the Death Star could have arrived on, the Death Star 2. Should we do a recap of everything that we've yeah, it was a gas giant. We were confused for a second. Let's do a recap of everything that we've covered so far. How's that sound? Hold on. I think I need to take... I've got some... I need to take a 2-second break just to take... I've got some of my kids' diapers down here. I gotta bring them upstairs. dog fell over. Foot fell asleep. All right. We're back. Sorry about that, guys. So let's do a recap of everything that we've discovered so far. It's not a Venator. We'll get to that. Could be just throw one, yeah. Okay, we think this scene... I think the consensus so far among the chat, for everyone who's new, this seems to be some sort of training montage.
We've passed on all we know.
Not an actual confrontation. Lightsaber is...
1,000 generations.
We'll get a good shot at it here. It's slightly different. It's got a new black piece. She turns it on with a new button. Actually, here, I'll just go back. We'll just play it through and just pause it.
On all we know.
Let's get a shot of it when it's on her belt. You can see. Not that this really matters, but yeah, this piece right here, this piece is new. Okay, so this would have been where the saber split right down the middle here, and then it's got kind of like a clamp, like some flex tape holding it together. And the button there is a new button, but she turns it on with what in Legends used to be at least the length adjuster.
But this is your fight.
It did have a gold button. No one ever said that it was a button, but it did have what looked like a button on it. There was a lot of damage to it, so. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a second. Thrawn. I don't think it looks that different. Could be Kylo. We don't know. It's not quite as TIE silencer, because we'll see in a second. But oh, pay attention to the ground here. The ground, the sky, and the mountains. Watch this scene. Now look at this. Completely different. Wait, is the ship different too? Is that Kylo's TIE silencer earlier? I didn't. Let's see. No. No, okay, it's the same ship, but it's a different background. So this is more of like a kind of a, looks more like a Dantooine. It's not the silencer because the silencer has that square cockpit. This is like kind of a silencer mixed with an interceptor. Also, the silencer has kind of a little extra, like hexagonal bit on the back. I like the ship though. It's very kind of lean and it's got the First Order red, kind of like the TIE SF. I don't remember what the one in Resistance looks like, but yeah, this is definitely a different planet, or maybe not different planet, but different place on a planet. The sky's different, the ground's different, the mountains are different. Just watch one more time. Look what's ahead of her. Just desert. Completely different. So that's why we think it's training. Repeated things. We didn't pick up much about that. We just think it's a speeder. Some of us thought this was a Knight of Ren. Some of us thought this might be... it could just be a Resistance trooper. It could be some sort of local native who Kylo and the First Order are subjugating. It could be a Knight of Ren who Kylo's First Order faction is going against. It's a different angle, but the ground is it's definitely different. Yeah, so that second one's probably not Tatooine. Lando, of course, I think he looks honestly great for... This is like, what, 30 years after the Battle of Yavin, so he's an old man. Looking good. We didn't see much in this scene. This looks more like the first planet that they're on, more of the Tatooine planet rather than the kind of Dantooine planet. Kind of close look at is this jetpack flaring on off? Kind of like, yeah, it is like back in those who ever played Shadows of the Empire. You know, when you run to the jetpack fuel, you gotta kind of hover a bit. Yeah, they do look like moisture evaporators. What? I do not recognize those guns though. And I mean, it's clearly a first order suit of armor, but the guns don't. The guns look different to me, anyway. Like, look at it there. Maybe this is meant to be some sort of. Oh, geez, 3 almost gets blasted. Okay, let's continue. Okay, here's the part that people keep coming in the chat and asking about, so I'll take another second. This is an Imperial 1 Star Destroyer. 100%, 100% Imperial 1 Star Destroyer. Jetto is shown later, like, actually, like, fully destroyed. Yeah, so this is the one, like, the Devastator Vader uses in A New Hope. Clearly the communications tower. Clearly a shield bulb. And then up here, a lot of people are assuming it's a Venator for 2 reasons. First, because there's this red stripe, which does exist. Second, people are assuming that these are doors, but they're not. They're just armor paneling. It's 100%. People said it could be the Chimera. It's possible. It could be Thrawn come back from the unknown regions. But the paint is curved like the Chimera's paint job. Let me... It's funny because my last live stream had the Chimera as a... let's see, at the Chimera. Star Destroyer Rebels. Does Chimera have paint like that on the top end, though? I mean, all Star Destroyers kind of have, like... It's not a hangar door. It's not. It's 100% an Imperial 1 Star Destroyer. 100%. I know I sound arrogant, but I can tell. One thing you notice, too, that I only noticed when I was doing this... Sorry, my dogs are barking at something. When I was doing this sort of live breakdown, watch right here. Turbo lasers, watch. Look, you can see them right there. I think you can see them. You can see a couple, actually, if you pay attention. Alongside, I can't make out any of these ships. They look like fighters. Hopefully there's some cruisers in there, like right there. And then you see another one over the kind of fuselage, right there. So something's going on. People were wondering whether it was crashed. No, I mean, we don't know if it's the second Death Star. I'm assuming it's the second Death Star. Because of the Palpatine connection. Oh, you can see another one right up here. So someone's shooting at each other. Yeah, this is the Episode 8 A-Wing. Is it a Defender shooting the last frame? I can't really make out a whole lot of anything, to be honest. But yeah, that ship right there, whatever this is, it looks like that laser is coming directly from whatever that thing is. Look how, so it's a little weird vessel here. So it's got, looks like 2 guns. I don't think it's crashed. It's not, I don't think it's a crash Star Destroyer. I think it's still firing. Falcon in the distance, straight engine bank. Let me see that. Are you talking about this thing? Right here? IV control craft. A little small, I think, for that. No, they're not. I don't know. I mean, this rate. They're not talking about this ship. This ship is unknown. I have no idea what this could be. People are saying this looks like the Falcon, I think. It's very possible that this new TIE variant... let's see. I'm going to check out the guns. Oh, you're talking about the, like the lander? I don't know. I mean, it could be a ship on its side. Or like doing a roll or something. Could be an ugly. So yeah, another theory that I haven't really thought about is maybe this is like Lando's fleet. Like maybe this is Lando's fleet, which is why he's got an old ass Republic painted Star Destroyer. How many times have we watched this trailer? Many times. We've been streaming for an hour and 25 minutes, and the trailer's 2 minutes long. So the math is, you know, yeah. Well, I just got a bunch of tweets I just want to read real quick. Let's ask the real questions. Is that Endor or Yavin? Who knows? That's true. Now that I think about it, the Death Star wasn't that close to Yavin. I feel like if the Death Star won, if it ended up anywhere, it would have just been in the Yavin gas giant. Like why would it end up over like on the moon of Yavin 4 itself? Okay. Let's continue.
We'll always be with you.
People are asking whether this is Palpatine's laugh. 100%,
No one's ever really
definitely.
gone.
No one's ever really gone. Could be a prototype. The Death Star on the scene looks too small for scale. I don't agree, I don't think. Let's see. Let's take a look. Star Destroyer Rogue One. That's the best sense of scale we get. Maybe. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I think it's pretty hard to tell, but I think. I don't know. I mean, it could just it's artistic choice too. I don't know if there's like a canon size for it. It doesn't matter. But that's actually not a bad point. What do you guys think? Way too small looking? Huh. Yeah, the thing that read. Let's take a look at the. I mean, I just assumed, and I still do assume that this was the Death Star 2. But the dish was huge. The Death Star 1 and the Death Star 2 had a comparably sized dish as well. It does seem like it's really small now, doesn't it? But yeah, like it's going into the clouds as well. Let's just look at the other scene for reference. It could be further away than you think.
Always be
Yeah,
with you.
definitely, 100%. Also, it's kind of misleading too because they're on a cliff face. It's probably an optical illusion. The gold symbol is the metal from A New Hope. The curves definitely match up. I mean, yeah. So in Legends, there was the thing where the Death Star 2 is. For a while, they changed this, but as late as the Essential Guide to Warfare, I think they have it where the Death Star 2 was like crazy size, like 700 kilometers or 800 kilometers, and then they changed it so it's equal in size to the Death Star 1. But it's so you'd expect the entire dish to be, the more I'm thinking about it, the more that this makes sense to me. You'd expect the entire dish, if it's what's the size of the Death Star 2 again, like. Is it 160 click? 200? So the dish itself, the entire dish would probably be 30 kilometers, 40. So this portion right here, basically, or like this, because it shows the entire curve. It's like this would be the middle, right here. So it'd be like up to around here. Could that be like 5 kilometers tall from here up? I don't know. I don't know now. It doesn't look like it's a scale. It might just be a scaling issue. This the trench, I guess? That's too close, I think, to be the trench. Honestly, it's probably just way further away than it looks. Like, look at the size of this rock. Force perspective. All right, we're probably... We might be focusing on this a bit too much. But one thing I don't understand is this... I don't know. It's funny, we're getting a lot of people saying yes it is. No, it's not. It is tilted, yeah, that's true. That actually could have, I mean, it is tilted on like a 35. And it's already tilted in. What is this, a Death Star for ants? Yeah, it's definitely supposed to at least resemble the Death Star. And it does, it just looks small to me. Some of you are overthinking this. We're 100% all overthinking this, but we've been looking at this trailer now for an hour and a half. That is absolutely big enough. The thing that I thought it was too, but the only thing, let me just, I think I already have it open on another page. The only thing that, here, let's see if I can find like a scale chart. Oh, this is interesting. That's not right though. Just 1 second, guys. Sorry. I mean, look at this shot in Rogue One, for example. So, look how goddamn large this thing is. This is a Star Destroyer, 1.6 kilometers, basically, a mile long. And this is a mile long. This is force perspective because these are much closer, but so is she. These I'd say are pretty similar in position. This is the one that to me is like, that's the poster, I think. Yeah, the other two is larger. Scale seems off to me. I don't know. Yeah, the scale seems off. Okay, here's another shot of Imp 1. If you look at the scene from Rogue One, which scene is that? If you can send me the scene in the chat, I'll take a look. Oh, here. Let's look up.
No one's ever really
Yeah, that leaked poster was real. I don't know if it was a finished one, but... Oops.
Most unfortunate.
I don't want to stream that.
Breach on Jeddah, Director Krennic. After
So many setbacks and delays.
So they're real far away.
And now this.
Thank you, Jonathan, for the. When does Battlefront show the Death Star 2 wreckage? Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated, my dude. Star Wars, a bunch of things coming up. Yeah, that's the Death Star on Endor. Okay, look at this scene. There's like a Star Destroyer supercut that's really useful on YouTube. I use it in my videos sometimes. I don't know, this thing's huge.
A major weapons test is imminent. We need to know how to destroy it.
God, that was a sick trailer.
A major weapons test is imminent. We need to know what it is and how to destroy it.
What am I looking for? I don't know. What do you guys think? To me, this should be much larger. Sorry, I'm trying to type around my my mic here. I don't know what scene you guys are referring to. The interior dish? Huh. You know what? That kind of makes sense to me. Let's see. Honestly, the point, like, we're just analyzing things because actually, no, it doesn't really make sense at the interior dish because it... No, sorry. We're analyzing things, but honestly, if they want to take an artistic liberty, you know, totally cool with it. Like, look how far away the dish is from the kind of construction. It could actually that might just be explosion debris, not construction. But yeah. We're over analyzing things way too far. It obviously is meant to be the Death Star 2.
Get the Inferno Squad now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Empire War, you're right. It's our job to overanalyze things. You have to be really far away. Well, yeah, you guys want to see another scene where the scale doesn't make any sense? This one. Can we get this not filmed on a potato, please? Because, like, the scale here for the Super Star Destroyer crashing makes literally no sense with the new size either. Like, if this is supposed to be 19-kilometer long vessel, 10% of basically the size of the... Oh, God, can you not recommend me these? Anyway, if this is supposed to be 10% of the size of the Death Star 2, you should see a curve here. 100%. Watch the super laser firing in Jedi. You're almost there. Fire. It's a nice shot of it. Could be. It could be like a moment situation. As we said, I know some people are coming in and out. There's concept art for the Death Star 2 underwater. Yeah, where's the flat Death Star theory? Yeah, concept art for the Death Star 2 underwater for The Force Awakens. So, I mean, yeah, we're being really pedantic, but all right, I think it's about time for. Oh yeah, and this is also what led to the crazy 700-kilometer long or 900-kilometer little sizing issues here. Thank you, Nero, for the donation as always, dude. Nero, much love. Oh, Corey, did you see the ISD one here in the trailer? Where is it? Oops, back here. You did it? Okay. Why does Harrison Ford hate Han Solo? Yeah, it's a little before that. It's right here. Very cool. All right, guys. Anybody else have any comments? I think supper is ready for me. It's pretty early, but scaling is always an issue. Yeah, 100%. And we were just looking at, like, look how big the cruisers look in the shot. This is probably where they threw the potato in or whatever. Yeah, anyone have any closing thoughts? We'll watch the trailer one more time, maybe. Quickly point out everything without stopping. Kelsey's gonna be mad at me. Flat Death Star confirmed. No, it's not a Venator, it's an ISD-1. So new piece for the lightsaber right there near the activator.
Live in you now.
Yeah, potato was in the asteroid field, yeah.
But this is your fight.
Corey, during the I'll pause that just for 1 second. During the shot with the ISD-1, you can see turbo lasers being fired at least. Chad, we're leaving in a second, but this whole thing is going to be available on the channel. She pushes a new button to activate it. I've never seen that before. But there is a button up there near the length adjuster. I'll probably stream on Twitch tonight, actually. Here, guys, if you want to, we'll probably chat some more. Go follow me on there if you want. Oh yeah, here I'll show Corey. Oh yeah, one thing I meant to mention too. We've covered this before, but there's two different planets here. You can see here, salt flats are just like desert, and then completely different. And you can see ahead of her too, and it's more of the same. Like look at these big mountains, and then here, completely different. Maybe not a different planet, but different place on the planet. You can't see who's in the TIE either. Some sort of TIE interceptor. Not the silencer. But this indicates to me, as we said, that they're training. Not that they're fighting or anything. Kind of weirdly cut together. But yeah. Yeah, you can see shrubs in the second shot for sure. It's got a red cockpit like the Special Forces TIE. I think he is probably attacking another Knights of Ren. Why would jumping over a TIE be training? Why would doing a handstand with a Muppet on your back be part of training, you know?
No one's ever really...
Yeah, he doesn't cut through the guy with the lightsaber. He hits him with the exhaust thing. Is there a new Falcon dish? Oh, they're back to round. Cool. I like it. Oh yeah, I wanted to show Corey. Where is it again? Up here. So if you look carefully again, because this is the thing that people are asking me about the most. This is an ISD-1. 100%. And if you look carefully, you can see turbo lasers coming from what I assume is the Star Destroyer here. You can see this ship right here in just a second, about one frame. You can see it fire 2 lasers or 2, blasters or whatever. See? Weird ship. I can't identify it. I have no idea what it is. And final thing is you can see some ships back here too. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today. Thanks to everyone who watched 1 hour 45 minute stream on a 2-hour trailer. Or 2-minute trailer. Pretty impressive how much we can analyze shit to death. So if you guys enjoyed this, please drop a like on the video. It will be, I'm going to play an ad too when I end. I haven't played any. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be live on Twitch tonight, most likely twitch.tv/Eckhart'sLadder. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. It will be available once YouTube processes it to watch completely. Yeah. The ISD does have a red mark on it. It could be Late Republic or something else. The Errant Venture. I like the thought of that. Anyway, until next time, guys, this has been Eckhart's Ladder. May the Force be with you.